Microtransactions here, okay? These are supposed to be tiny little payments made with real money or points, if you will, very nice, to purchase additional content for certain video games. But lately, some games have required more money to unlock additional levels, and others have demanded that we pay $1 or maybe $1 or $2 to unlock a cheat that we could previously activate by hitting the right button combination. Now, in the future, are we going to need to take out a loan to play the latest video games? Come on, just insert 200 Attack of the Show fun points and we'll continue. I'll wait. It's The Loop. Joining us live via satellite tonight from Seattle, Xbox Live Director of Programming and my good buddy Larry Herb, a.k.a. Major Nelson, and from San Francisco, OneUp.com's One Up Yours producer, Andrew Pfister. Gentlemen, welcome to The Loop.
Hello.
We got a fiery topic on our hands today because, Andrew, I'm reading a lot of gaming blogs, and I'm listening to the fanatics that are out there. And I say fanatics because they make microtransactions sound like the biggest disaster since Katrina. And if you listen to some of the bloggers out there, they make Katrina sound like it just drizzled. I mean, they're saying this thing is huge. Why are people so heated about micropayments?
Well, it's not that severe just yet. But the reason people are up in arms lately about microtransactions is that it doesn't appear that anybody's really in control of the situation. You have publishers like EA doing their own thing. You have publishers like Atari doing their own thing. And then you have even small publishers like Q Entertainment who does Lumines, like you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, let's talk about Lumines for a second, because it seems like this was really the straw that broke the micropayment camel's back. What happened with Lumines recently? Can you quickly sum that up for us, Andrew?
Lumines came out, I believe, last week over Xbox Live Arcade, and it was 1,200 points. Now, the problem with Lumines isn't necessarily that it was segmented or broken up in small pieces like you were talking about earlier, but the way it's presented on Xbox Live Arcade.
Right. You believe that you're buying the full version of the thing. There's really no information that, hey, you're paying for a version of the game, but it's going to cost you more for the additional content.
Exactly.
All right, now, Larry,
paying 1,200 points.
Larry, you work for Microsoft here, but you're also sort of an advocate for the gamers. So I'm curious, is your take the same as Microsoft's on this, and what is your take exactly?
So my take is really, I mean, it's about choice. And, you know, to talk what Andrew talked about and what you've been worried about is, I'm worried about it as well. But the reality is, with the Xbox Live Marketplace, this is a new era. We've never had this single place to go that we could pull off, you know, and have access to content like this. So what it is, what you're seeing right now, and Andrew, you talked about people don't have a choice. They actually do have a choice, and the choice is, don't press this button to purchase. That's really what the choice is all about.
Now, Larry, as a gamer, I was really looking forward to Lumines, and sadly, I made the choice to not press the A button. It's a game that I want to play. I love Mizuguchi. I really enjoy the game. But after I had read about it on a blog, I said, wow, I'm glad I didn't spend, you know, the $10 to buy this thing. How does Microsoft feel about this reaction from the gamers?
Well, obviously, we listen to it very closely, and that's one of my jobs. And we're taking all of that feedback, and we're going back to our developer partners. As I said earlier, it's about the choice. So what we're doing is we're going back and we're listening to the blogs, you know, on my blog and what you guys are writing, what Andrew's doing, what everybody's saying out there. We're listening and we're going back and we're saying, wait a minute, this isn't working. I mean, it's not like we go home at 5 o'clock on a Friday and come back to work on Monday. There were emails flying about all weekend around internally about this, is what's going on. Because everybody that works on the Xbox team, these are gamers.
Sure.
So we care about it just as much as you do, and we want your feedback. I mean, look, the reality is, Xbox Live didn't get to be 4 million people strong by not listening. That's what we do, is we listen to the gamers.
Right. Well, and if you hope to get to 8 million, obviously you do have to pay attention to what they're saying.
Right.
Andrew, when it comes to these micropayments, things like Lumines, things like horse armor, where you could pay $1.50 for essentially a skin on your horse in Oblivion, for those who don't know. I mean, would this be less of an issue if the games were discounted, perhaps, or if Xbox Live itself, the additional services, were free? Do you think it'd be less of an issue for gamers?
Definitely. Like with Atari's Test Drive Unlimited, they came in at a price, I believe, is $39.99, which is $10 or $20 below what you're seeing for most next-generation games. And then they have microtransactions within that game, and you're not paying the full price. But with games coming now from EA, like The Godfather, you're still paying $59.99 full price, and then they're charging you on top of that. To address the topic of choice, that's fine, that's a good argument. But if you're buying a game for $59.99, and then, again, you're being forced to pay on top of that, that's kind of a false choice.
Yeah, I got to ask Larry about this Godfather issue here, because this is the recent blow, and I understand that it's EA's choice to do what they want with the Godfather, but they're doing it under the Xbox Live name. They're doing it with that brand, and I think I mean, for those, again, who don't know here, you buy The Godfather, and you can pay to unlock additional weapons. You can pay for in-game money. The problem is that these are cheats that are available on a cheaper version of the game that come with it. So it comes with the original Xbox version. It comes with the PlayStation 2. So, I mean, how does Microsoft feel about a developer taking a feature out of a game and then charging gamers more for it? To me, that doesn't seem like the Xbox Live experience I'm paying for.
Well, we're working with EA to try to understand what they're trying to do. And again, it's all about experimenting. Is it the right or wrong thing to do? At the end of the day, this content just came out yesterday, so we have to look at the numbers. But I can tell you, I want to just go back for 1 second. You guys talked about Oblivion. There is no way you can tell me that that there's not enough in-game content in Oblivion. That game was worth way more than what we paid for it. So when we look at the horse armor, yeah, that's marginal. Do you want to pay for it or do you not want to not pay for it? But the fact of the matter is, we would be shortchanging the guys at Oblivion to say, well, you know what, that game really wasn't a full game. That was way more than a full game.
Sure. All right. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time because I wanted to get your thoughts on this Godfather controversy, but that's going to do it for the Microtransactions chat today, gentlemen. So thank you for joining us. Listen,
Thanks,
Microtransactions, they're here, but, we're still in the kind of the guinea pig stage, really. Gamers, if you don't like the content, don't buy it, and don't buy the games that depend on it. Vote with your wallets. Don't whine all over the internet. But developers, you're not off the hook either. Just give us a good, solid, finished games. If you deliver the goods, we're going to want more. Hell, we'll even pay for it. So thanks to Major Nelson and Andrew for joining us at the Digital Water Cooler and keeping us in the loop.